lighter. Be a long day if I can't keep this thing lit. Where the hell my lighter go? All right, no touch-ups today. We're just gonna roll with it.
Smoke slow, my friend.
Oh, wait. Lots of matches. We're good.
All right, we are on. Trying to make sure I got all this volume cut down so I don't get any echo.
Excuse me. Yeah, same.
All right, I got this. Milwaukee P, what is going on? AD in the building. Gavin, what is going on?
AD, how you broke in, man? Look like I saw you. Is that Alex?
That is Alex.
That's what I thought, man. Hey, the photos or videos, I can't remember where I saw it, of your family, man. It looks like y'all having a blast.
Man, that's why I was actually talking to somebody about him the other day. So I got a lot of respect. Me and you talk off camera about how much families and stuff mean to us anyway. So I got a lot of respect for him. I like seeing people taking care of their family and
it's a tough thing, man. For some, like, I don't want to do like the gender, like the father thing, but just, from a parent perspective, it's tough when you're trying to balance all that stuff. And there's a reason not everybody does it well.
That's true. That is very true. What you smoking on today?
Hold on. Oh. All right, so I have lit up from La Flor Dominicana, the 1994 Rumba.
I see you over there rolling them R's.
Well, something like that. Let's see if I can get it. There's the camera. Turn that bad boy.
That's a good cigar. That's I think I was telling you before that that particular cigar I bought. It came in an urn, or like a beer stein or urn or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I still got that thing somewhere around here, but I like that cigar enough. And this was probably 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think my camera's good enough, but like you can just see the teeth on it, man. It's just so toothy. I'll tell you, man, like, I know we don't talk about La Flor that often, or LFT. To me, I really just love their, outside of the bowl and the Solomon series they do.
Yep.
Classic packaging, classic simple bands, and just high quality cigars. Like, not under the radar, but like, people like, oh, I only, double a Hero. Or,
they're overlooked. They are overlooked though, because I was thinking about it now too. Even myself, like, I'll smoke the Cabinet No. 5, Chapter 1 every now and then. But they make good cigars, but I think because everybody's so focused on boutique or smaller companies now that they kind of just get overlooked. And then LFD's good, but they're not up there they don't have the following like Padron, Fuente, Davidoff. So they just really stuck in that weird spot.
Yeah. What are you smoking on?
I lit up this Padron 46th anniversary. I was gonna smoke it yesterday. Ended up only smoking the 1926 Bellicoso.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm gonna smoke this one. I said, drink me a little bit and have me a nice beer and have a chat with you and the family. Speaking of bulls, the Prince said he found some Andalusian bulls. He got 5 of them. Hopefully you enjoy them, man. Hopefully you enjoy them. Still some hard cigars to get.
Yeah. So I know of one shop that has 35 boxes and he won't sell them. Like, it's his personal cigar. And
that wasn't the spot that me and you stopped at when I was there, was it?
No, it's out of state. And
okay.
And so, but he like leaves them stacked in the humidor, as like he likes to mess with people because they think they can buy it.
I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Endorsement, what's going on, man? Going on, my brother. Let's see what we got. Smoking Rare Leaf. Mystical smoking a Rare Leaf. AD smoking the Kentucky Fire Cured. Hey, Prudence, how you doing? But Andrew, you want to go ahead and let everybody, let everybody know what we got going on?
Yeah, hold on, give me a second. Sorry. All right, we're back.
Before we start, I will be posting the link in here again. Black Line Luxuries does have a YouTube channel now. So if you're watching this, obviously, you know, this is a Black Line Luxuries live stream. We're going to be talking about Black Line Luxury. So obviously there must be some care about what we're doing. So go ahead and go over there and subscribe to the Black Line Luxuries YouTube channel too.
I appreciate that, Ron. Thank you. Yeah, so we branched out, and so I actually got a couple questions of it this week already. But you know, Ron and I have been talking about it we've been talking about it for a while. Like you look at all those other companies, they have them, and so like I'm not with the YouTube channel. I'm not trying to do anything different. I'm not trying. What's up, bud? Awesome. Can I finish my show, then we can play? All right, thanks, bud.
Dad life.
Yeah, dad life. And so for me, it was more just trying to get like spotlight the brands and the products that we sell that don't make it into the club at some point. But then also, you know, it's kind of the next step, the next iteration. But I did get this question directly. So I just want to put it out there for the world to know it's out there. Is like, you know, it's not meant to. Okay, have fun. It's not meant to replace Ron. It's not meant to, you know, do anything other than just grow the store presence of Black Line Luxuries. You know, Ron's role is what it is, and as a company, right, you go through stages, iteration, you add offerings and things, and it's just another social media tool for the company to grow. So
that's pretty much what I was telling people too. You know, I say, you know, of course, you know more than or better than anybody being the one person doing, you know, running the show. So that's why I was like, I'm only one person too. So of course, you're going to get the monthly unboxings from me, some occasional reviews of things that we're promoting, samplers or whatnot. But the Black Line Luxuries page will cover things that you may not find on my page. So James may decide to put together some samplers or whatever kind of news he wants to update it on is going to be on that page. So make sure you guys are following it. You never know if I'm in town where he's at, we might go live from that page or whatever too. So
yeah,
just check it out.
I'll say, you know, in May, right, we'll have some content on both of our pages that comes out in the back half of the month that we're pretty excited about.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know, like you guys can guess, it's just a different thing. But somebody like explicitly asked me about it, so I just wanted to put it out there for the world, so it was on record. So, Ron, we're gathered here today.
Yep.
To talk about March.
Yep.
And not just the month of March, but the Black Line Luxury Cigar of the Month Club box of March.
Which I think the consensus was everybody, I think I heard for the most, I think it was like 99.9% people really enjoyed it. So we were happy to hear that, of course.
Mystical. There is a Black Lion RonReal Facebook page already that has 2 members, Ron and James. It exists. It exists. There's a group, and it's been active, for 6 months now?
Yeah.
And it is just Ron and I. So some of it is, I'll get back to that. Ron, remind me to talk about that later. So to the topic at hand. As you guys know, this is the second edition of the Black and White Ash. This is our show where we're going to talk about the boxes that come from Black Line Luxuries. That's led by Ron as the curator. That, you know, I'm on, you know, it's like Ron's 1, I'm like 2, Nick is 3, in that order as we, you know, move through all this. So really excited to continue to pull back the curtains because we have nothing to hide. And one thing I've really found, and we got a lot of good feedback of the first one, Ron, and you know, you can attest to this, is you guys really enjoyed hearing why, and it kind of, you get behind the scenes, and not every club's willing to do that because some clubs are lying to you. They're doing stuff that, you know, they're cleaning out their inventory with some clubs, and we have nothing to hide. All our sticks are bought with the purpose of being in the club. They have not been sitting on our shelves for 2 years and they'll never sell. So we're going to put them in the box. Every cigar that goes in, we buy specifically for this one purpose, and then we keep extras in the shop. So it's been really fun actually watching the shop grow because we do have all these new boxes or more boxes of stuff as you guys, because you know, you get the coupon code, you can buy the boxes or 5-packs if you like them. So we have nothing to hide. So we're kind of reversing that. So that's why we do these, and here we go.
Yep.
All right. So do you want to start in Bombay and work our way to Iroa?
Yeah, that's fine. We could start in Bombay. Which I think that was pretty funny. So like James introduced me to the brand, obviously. I first smoked that cigar probably back in, what do you think, James? October, November sometime. I really liked it. We of course, so how things work sometimes is we will smoke a cigar and we'll time it. Like, so where the club was number-wise, people-wise, it was like, all right, we'll wait because this is a really good cigar. And this is a cigar and a brand that a lot of people don't know about. So I would much rather the club be a little bit bigger, expose it to more people than just the initial people that were in. And, you know, you guys saw we featured the MS Deli before. We featured the Mayura. We featured this cigar. Got a little bit of backlash from a few people because we used the cigar, or used the company, I'm sorry, for the third time. But at the end of the day, what I will say on this is, even if we use, let's say if we use Crown Heads 2 months in a row or whoever, we don't really look at it more so of like, oh damn, we've used this company every month for 3 straight months. We're looking at it really physically from the cigar standpoint. So even though we had already used M. Bombay 2 times previously, a lot of people, the majority of the cigar smokers out there, have not experienced that company. Now, me saying that, a lot of people may not have liked the MS Deli. A lot of people may have liked the Mayura or vice versa. But I honestly felt with the price point and where this cigar was, I felt like the majority of people were going to like this more than the other 2 that were featured. And this might have been the cigar that solidified a person into saying, you know what? All right, now I'm good with M. Bombay. Because where me and James are smoking it and becoming fans, the feedback we're hearing is people like, oh, it's okay, it's average. When we really believe in these cigars, we're trying to get these cigars in front of you. So it's not we're not purposely trying to force feed brands down everybody's throat. But if we think the cigar is a good cigar, then it's going to be placed there strategically. This cigar was strategically placed. So
I mean, so you guys have probably heard us talk about it. Like, so I drink more coffee than probably the average human. Like, it's not abnormal for me to have 7 cups a day. I just like coffee. Like, I don't drink, so I pair with coffee. And so the one thing I always challenge Ron with is not just pairing with wines and liquor, but coffee and other items. And so for me, it was really important that, you know, if you look at the lineage of M. Bombay, we've done the lighter profile ones, right? We did 2 from the M. Cuba line. You know, they're budget friendly, their lowest price point. And then we did their most expensive price point. And this one sat right in the middle. So you're looking at 3 M. Bombay cigars, all in the lighter profile. Technically, the Classic Torpedo is from a different line, but it has similar characteristics. So it was really important for me when challenging Ron, when he was talking about what he wanted for this box. I said, I don't want to miss the opportunity and let the other 2 cigars get away from people's palates and their heads, as it relates to, you know, this is that price point sits right in the middle of the other 2. And it is a very, of the 3, I actually think it's the best one. For the price point and the flavors you get. I mean, listen, I think the Mayura is phenomenal, incredible. The price point is something that gets in the way on that. And it's also really not as available too. So, and for me, and Mike, I see your comment. I'm kind of surprised to hear that, because I've probably, and like, listen, everybody's palate's different. So I understand that you probably, you know, you did get that, and that's why you're saying it. I probably smoked 20 to 30 of the samples, or that batch, right, that came in, to make sure it was a quality that was good to send out. And I never got that. And so I am sorry to hear that, but we did get a lot of really positive feedback that they liked it, and it was a good coffee cigar. So that was the one challenge I put on Ron when we
saw a lot of nubs.
Yeah, a lot of nubs.
And another thing too, like James just said, we are very out in the front, very out in the open. You guys know how I am as a reviewer, just straight to the point. You guys, like I said too, there's an emphasis on everybody needing to trust me, James, and Nick, what we're doing. So I think a few of the complaints, or maybe the concerns, were that we're pushing the brand. But here's the thing that I would challenge people on too. If this was the 3rd month out of 8 months of us using Padron or Davidoff, probably wouldn't have heard anything about it, because you guys associate that with being upper echelon, upper tiered cigars. I think M. Bombay gets a bad rap sometimes, and people see that company and think it's a cheap cigar. But most people that are telling you that'll smoke this cigar, I would smoke that cigar blindly without a band against a lot of cigars with higher followings or bigger notoriety. So it's like, just trust us, y'all. If we're putting the cigars in, it's because it's a good cigar. We're not trying to cheapskate anybody. We're not trying to cut corners. If the cigar is in there, we think it's a good cigar. We think it's a cigar that needs to be exposed to you guys. So
yeah, and not only so, like, we'll skip a cigar, but there was actually another cigar in the box that this is the 3rd time we featured them as well too. And it's funny because we did not hear one person say that.
Nope.
About that brand. And so it's all different. Listen, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because we did what we wanted to do with the box, and we felt it was curated well. So
right. And that's why I say the consensus is, I think everybody for the most part thought this was a very strong box, which we both did too.
Agreed. Yeah, this was probably one of my favorite boxes we've done, actually.
Yeah.
Because of what we did, right? We acknowledged that we couldn't agree, and so we were lucky enough to be able to get both,
right,
and make it work at the price point that we needed. And I was pretty excited about that because friendly, little healthy competition. We had a lot of feedback coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's I think most people that know us or that have been around us enough know that. It's just kind of like how I was talking with Cigar Prop about like me and him and Lee Mac. Like it's friendly competition. It's not taking anything away from our friendship, but it's kind of like, all right, Ron, I got the one up on you this month. Everybody's outside with me this time and not you. So it's like, all right, it's cool. I know there'll be months where it'll be vice versa. But at the end of the day, it's friendly competition. It makes it all fun. Everybody's enjoying the box. That's what I care about. That's what James cares about too, is the final product is enjoyable. So,
And I fully expect next month that you'll have the one up after they have that anchor. And we can compare that anchor to the one from a couple months back. So all good.
I think more people want us to disagree on stuff. I think I saw Mathis say that. He's like, please disagree with James every month.
Yeah. Actually, Mystical, we'll talk about that in a minute because that's going to lead into one of the questions we got leading up to this. So Ron, Punch Red Corojo. So when I remember when I told you that I think we should use that, you raised the eyebrow and I could see it through the phone.
Yeah.
So what sold you when you smoked it and decided that we could include it?
So again, for my goal is all the time too. I have the tough part about being the curator is not getting my way all the time. And when I say that, meaning I can't just think about me and my palate all the time. I have to think about X number of members and broaden my horizon. So when I smoke the cigar and stick it, and I always want to stick to the mission statement of what we started the club for and why we're doing what we're doing. So I smoked it. I thought the cigar was good enough, and it's a limited cigar, but we still had enough supply that if people liked the cigar or ended up loving it, because I think that was a cigar that I've seen people either enjoy it or they didn't. And me and you were the same way. Like, look, man, I don't want anybody in the chat or anybody that or Rob and Caesar, like I told them on their video, don't feel, or Carson on Ashhead, don't feel like you have to say that you love every cigar. I don't, you know what I mean? If you don't like it or don't enjoy it, give us the real feedback, because that's what's going to make our club stronger. That's what's making me and James' wheels turn more. You tell us you don't like a cigar, we jot down notes of why you didn't like it, and we might compare it to 10 other people that didn't like it. Like, oh, okay, these 10 people didn't like it. They all got a severe bitterness. So, all right, we'll make sure and we take note of it. But it's really funny because when we decided on the Punch Red Corojo, there were two sizes that we were wanting to use. The one size was just kind of a problematic with inventory. As you guys know, with the pandemic going on, factories not being at full capacity, it's just a problem. And then we were able to get my second favorite size. So I was like, cool.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good. And then, like I said, too, that's a cigar that's, it really walks that fine line. You're not going to see it in every brick and mortar that you walk in, but that's a cigar that's not super unattainable. If you do your Googles, you can find it. And of course, with being a member of the club, where you can definitely find the cigar for a discounted rate. So, that, like you said, I have to battle myself with that sometimes too, because I hear Punch and I automate, and you know this too. I think for what it's worth, Punch makes great cigars for the price point that they're in. But it's just sometimes I automatically associate Punch with being a cheaper brand. Or I'm not very big on American branding of Cuban companies. That's just never. I'm just not huge on them. Not saying that they don't make good cigars, but I don't smoke a lot of. Not saying that they don't have them, because there is a good Monte Cristo, H. Upman, Punch, Boulevard. Like I just when I close my eyes and think of them, I think of Cuban Puros. So I just
you're absolutely right. And for me, listen, there's some cigars and Punch that I don't recommend from that line. I just don't. I don't think they're great. They're good. They're nothing special. This is one of the top cigars in my opinion that they produce. And that is, it's a limited release in their capacity. It is using higher primings. It is better quality tobacco. And for me, it's kind of cool because we're not a rare club, right? You don't come to us to find cigars you'll never get again. But it's really nice when we can incorporate once a year releases, right? Whether, we kind of did it with the Mayura, right? It doesn't come out all the time. Mel doesn't roll them year round.
The custom blend.
Yeah, like for us to have those in there really matters to me. And that's why, like, when I sent it to you, I was like, hey, like it's a very good cigar for that price point, for the tobacco they use. It may not fit your flavor profile, but this is a really good punch. And if you can get past that, if you can get past the name, you should be okay, because it is a high quality tobacco, and it's well balanced. The flavors are there. It's not overly complex, but it's consistent every single time, every single year.
Yep. And I would agree with it.
So, all right. So number 3, the Todos Los Dias Toro from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust.
Dunback.
I got ahead of myself there.
All right. So of course, again, too, you guys have heard me say on numerous videos, everybody, for some reason, in the first year I was reviewing, I didn't review a lot of Dunbarton cigars. So everybody's like, what? I guess everybody reviews a lot of his cigars are all over. And I'm like, look, man, I don't have anything against Steve Saka or his company. I smoke his cigars, but there's some stuff that's hit or miss for me. Sin Compromiso, which has already been featured, cigar I really like. It's in the tournament this year. And I also like the Todos Los Dias. There's a few of the Moisture de Sakas I'm a fan of too, but some of this stuff for me is just kind of but the Todos Los Dias and the Sin Compromiso were really good. So that's a cigar that, honestly, James will tell you, we've been talking about it probably for 4 or 5 months. We've been talking about this blend and different.
I think it's been longer than that, Ron.
It might have, it may have even been from the beginning.
Yeah, like you really wanted that thick Lonsdale, and we just unfortunately couldn't get the inventory of it.
That's right. Yep.
So when it comes to Todos Los Dias, if you've watched any of Steve Saka's lives, when he did ours or on any of the others, he openly talks about that he was kind of caught off guard or surprised maybe that Todos Los Dias has not done as well as he anticipated. It was a slow seller. It's a big seller in our shop. That's one we've never struggled with. Mm-hmm. So when he says that, I really take stock in that, right? Because that man intimately knows his numbers. He knows how many brulees he sells, or umbagogs he sells. So for him to say that, I, in the back of my head, was like, Ron, we need to put the cigar in, because that means probably not a lot of people are smoking it. And like you said, fits the mission of our club.
Right. And it wasn't a hard push for me, because I actually like the cigar. So I think Mi Querida, Tricky Traca, the regular one, the Brulee, of course, the Brulee Blue. There's so many other cigars that get, like you said, the Umbagog, because at first, before the prices went up, it was a much more budget conscious cigar. So I feel like all his blends, those were getting a lot of the shine. And then the Todos Los Dias sits at a very weird price point, because you jump up a couple more dollars, you get a Sin Compromiso, or you could save a few bucks and get an Umbagog, and the Umbagog is still great too.
Yeah.
Cuban sandwich, by the way, mentioned in it again, kind of reference to that. But that's a cigar I still feel like, and truth be told, there's a lot of people out there that haven't had a lot of Steve Saka's blends, and so again, like you said, fitting with the mission of the club.
I don't know if it's just because we're lucky, right? We have Dave Lafferty who comes out. We carry every single cigar except for the customs that Steve makes. Right. We have all of them. So I don't know if I've just been exposed to Saka and I'm so used to it. Any of his Maestro de Sakas are on our shelves. The Brulees, the Umbagogs, Tricky Traca, the Mi Querida, the regular one, the Blue Band. Then you have Todos Los Dias, and then we even have unicorns in our shop.
Y'all do. This is a fact.
Yeah, so it always baffles me when I'm still surprised if people have not heard of Dunbarton.
So here's the thing too. Even though, I feel like Dunbar's an up and coming boutique style company, I just really feel like it's just really unfortunate, because it's damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of thing. I feel like sometimes as smokers we get so caught up in, all right, this cigar is good, what's next? Yeah. And that's an emphasis that I want to put on too, like the Triumphador, the Black Label. These are cigars that have been out for 10 years. But if you just started smoking cigars in the last 2-3 years and you don't talk to the right people, or you're not smoking enough to broaden your palate, you've never heard of a Triumphador. So that is my goal, my mission. That is James' mission and the Todos Los Dias is the same way. If you just started smoking this year or last year, those blends have been out for a while, so you're going to overlook them, and then you're going to see the price point of it too, and be like, I ain't smoking it. A lot of people like to stay under that $10 area, which is cool. That's because you can find a lot of great cigars for under $10. But
absolutely. Yeah. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? Are you working? Or are you finally actually able to relax a little bit with that new puppy? Yeah. So that one I was really proud of. It got us a lot of people. We got a lot of feedback, as you can imagine, saying thank you. Haven't had it because, like you said, It is. It's a 12, 13, 4. I forget what it retails for off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But like I think subconsciously the industry has just trained people to $9.99, right? Is that mark that you don't want to pass over, because then it feels like it's getting expensive. So it is what it is, and there's no problem with that. So
you know what I say anyway, though, at the same time, not saying that you shouldn't be conscious of what you're spending in your finances, but to me, cigar smoking is a necessity. It's not a necessity. It's a
luxury.
Luxury. So me saying this, like, again, like I said, you might be able to afford constantly smoking $2, $3, $4, $5 cigars again, but at the same time, it's like, this isn't a necessity, man. This is kind of a big boy's or big girl's hobby or lifestyle. It's just like, if you're gonna jump into it's like how it was when I was drinking bourbon. You can't, want to drink Pappy Van Winkle and all this stuff, and you're drinking Heaven Hill bottled and bond or something all the time. If you're getting in this game or you're getting this lifestyle, that's what comes with it. It's expensive, man.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that's I always. For me, I have fun watching on the Facebook groups the people that like start their life. And I was there. No hate, no shame. They get that Monte Cristo 5-pack off Cigar Bid for like $10.99. And, you see that Cigar Bid life that lasts, whether 6 months or, some people still live on it. That's fine because their budget dictates that. But then they start realizing all the cigars that aren't on Cigar Bid or Cigar Auctioneer, and then they move. And you just see that evolution. I always love watching those people on the Facebook groups.
Yep. Because, like I said, we all have been at that point. But answering that question, what drives me and what I spent, like, my palate honestly drives me. So I know where my palate is and what I like at the moment. There's it's the same thing. If you were used to eating sirloin steak or eye of round, and then you go up to filet mignon and your palate gets used to that butteriness, the flavor that it presents, it gets hard to go back down to sirloin and eat it and accept it. Yep. Same thing with tobacco, same thing with bourbon or spirits or anything. When you get to that certain level, there's a different fermentation, there's more age, there's more delicacy. You're going to be able to taste the difference in the tobacco. So when you get to that level, it's very hard to jump back down to a $2 or $3 cigar, because let's be honest, one cigar probably costs $0.25 to manufacture, one costs $2. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. No, I was going to say, like, it as you get more experience, like, that stuff just becomes evident. You can tell quality tobacco versus not quality tobacco. And that's like I said, it speaks to that evolution of the smoker. And it's really fun because I think our club, and we say this openly, we provide quality tobacco in every cigar. None of our cigars are
right. It might not be for you might not like it. It might the flavor of profile or anything, but we don't feel like there's any bad cigars that we're putting in there.
Yeah, and so, like, for Ron's cigar, right, when the test blends were happening and we were getting all that, we made it very clear to Francisco that we wanted to buy the whole batch, the whole bale of that tobacco. We didn't want to have to go back and find a second bale to make this work. And so we were very comfortable with the number that were produced, because the club size dictated it from a business standpoint, but then also because we didn't want to struggle to have to use multiple batches of bale or tobacco to achieve that, because the taste would be different. And there are companies out there who just don't lack that
consistency.
They lack the integrity to do that. They will sell that cigar year after year, and the blend will change year after year, but it will be the same box and the same band, and they will tell you that it's the same.
Yep. And you obviously longer than me, but I know now with meeting Nick that I feel like even if he likes something flavor wise, like what Nick's main concern is how consistent can you bring this product out? Consistency. Like, it's a great blend now, but is it going to be great next year? Is it going to be great in 5 years? Like, I need to know. And so you'll see Nick smoking and he's inspecting the cigar, touching it, rolling it, just like, a mad scientist. And you could just tell it's just certain levels to, it's certain levels to it, man. So
there really are. All right. So now to the big boys, I think what the people want to know. Mm-hmm. So I think we gave it away already, which cigar we preferred. And I think it's pretty evident if you've watched Ron and if you've listened to me, which one I prefer and why he likes his. So, Ron, of the two Aroa first 20s, go ahead and tell us which one was your selection.
So mine was the non-Colorado, the Prince Otto, the 6x46. You guys know the Aroa 20-year. We just hit it on the head. That's a cigar that was introduced right when I started smoking cigars. That was one of the few ones I picked up too, and I was like, man, it's very good, nice, rich, full flavor, and it's been consistent year after year after year after year. It's probably for sure a top 20 cigar for me all the time. I've never, somebody's asked me what's my favorite. I haven't sat down and jotted down cigars, but just off the top of my head, I know that that cigar will be there because I enjoy the flavors, what it puts out, and it's consistent. I just like the Top Hawaii Black Label. Every time I pick up certain cigars, they're just consistent. And the Aroa family in general, whether you prefer the Colorado or none, we see it with JRE and Justo with Aladino. Very good flavor, just very consistent, man. So but it really does, and I'll be interested to see, because we could ask this question in the chat too, James.
No,
so with you preferring the Colorado, it makes so much more sense to me, because as a cigar smoker and knowing what you like to smoke, me and you both agree on some cigars, and then there's some we differ because our palates are different, because I think you prefer more nuance, more delicacy, and I'm more aggressive. So it's like, you like Davidoffs, I like some. I like more Padrones than So it's like it makes sense to me when I hear it.
Yeah, it was really funny because there were a lot of people that asked, and part of me is chuckling. I'm not gonna I promise I'm not trying to be an ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you watched or listened to Ron and I, to me it was a very easy distinction as to who was who, because I do not like the full strength of that cigar, of your cigar.
Right.
To me, listen, it's the same binder and filler. The wrapper is the difference. The Colorado was released a year later after it. I like the mellow, the sweetness of it. I like that it sits at more medium full. It does creep up there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sweet, there's the creamy, but then it's got this beautiful spice balance in it that I think transitions, and I think it's a little more complex. But I think the flavors in the 6x46, the Prensado, are stronger, more impactful, and there are some better flavors in there that I wish had been in the Colorado version.
Right.
And for me, I like the 5x50 size too.
Yeah. And I was holding this Padron up because it's kind of like that. I've mentioned it time and time again. This isn't like a Cuban or some other like Warped or a Louisiana, where you're getting such floral notes, cream. It's just very good, pungent, strong flavor and consistent. And for me, like, I would say this too, in all honesty, you would have to sit down and pay more attention to the Colorado.
Yes. Yeah.
More so than mine. Like, I could go in the yard and smoke mine on a lawnmower and be like, all right, cool. Like that one, you'd have to sit down. I don't want anybody talking to me. I'm just kind of collecting my thoughts, thinking about what all is going on.
Well, and that's why I even said it in the notes for those that read the bottom right box was, those need to be smoked slow, because there needs to be the intentionality of the cigar. Right there, you've heard us talk about it before, and I use Dunbarton because I just think it's always on the top of my head. It's a good cigar brand.
Mm-hmm.
I like Steve. I like Dave Lafferty, the VP of sales. Like the Umbagog, right? You can take that inside, outside, in the car, not in the car, windows up, windows down. You're going to get the flavors, you're going to get the smoke aroma, and it's going to be the full package. The Brulees do not smoke in the car with the windows cracked. Do not be outside. You're going to lose some of that nuance that makes that cigar special. And for me, like, you just nailed it. The Colorado is, you've got a moment to yourself. You're sitting somewhere quiet. There's not a lot of air movement, whether it's, the fans in the shop or whatever. And you can just enjoy that.
Yep. And I know people are preferring the Colorado. Don't get it misunderstood now. I think that's a great cigar too. It's not saying I don't think it's a great cigar. It was literally, both these cigars are good. Which one do you prefer?
Yes. Listen, they are 1A and 1B. They are both 9 point. I don't have a rating system, but if I had to randomly pick a number, they're both 9.5s. It's just, I prefer 9.5A versus 9.5B. The Aroa family, their access to tobacco, Christian's lineage and legacy in the industry is second to few.
It's literally, I mean, the statement is they have the original Cuban Corojo seed.
Yes.
Like you just said, if you're talking about lineage and history, like that's them. Like, so many people he's made cigars and worked with that people don't know about. Like, he's all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward. So, most of the Zoom with him got rescheduled for the 28th. It was a family thing that came up with Christian. Ron and I, family first. Shit happens, life happens, family.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, Mystical, I pay attention. I know your Davidoff love. I know your Padron love.
Yep.
It did not surprise me that the flavors on that lined up with what you wanted. So, yeah, I will. Whoever said that with double espresso, messy. I paired, every time I've smoked one of those in the last 2 months, it's always been with an espresso. It's actually
yes, because you getting that sweetness and you getting pumped. Like, put your seatbelt on.
I actually have different beans I use for either of them, but which one I'm smoking, but it's always an espresso. That's one of the few that I don't do chai or coffee with, and it's been that way for a while. So yeah, so it was funny though, because so I'll be honest, when we were picking the Aroa, it was not intended to be the anchor. It was going to be one of the other cigars, and then when we realized that we can't make that an anchor because, in our opinion, the price point doesn't dictate what the commitment we have to you guys.
Right.
That's when we're like, listen, we'll be honest. We like both of them. We can't really make a determination because I think I'm right. Ron thinks he's right. They're both damn good cigars. Do both. And that was really easy then for us to pair that as the anchor. It's probably going to be a minute since we get one of those conversations. That was a rare occurrence.
That was a very easy call, though. James called me. He's like, what do you think about just fuck it? What if we do both of them? I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Because, you guys know Ron has final say, right? He's the guy. He curates it. But we every day we talk club. It's not like it's some magical secret that he just sends me a text and we talk for 30 seconds. And it is what it is. Like,
God, no, that would definitely not work.
No, so yeah, it was really fun because I was like, listen, this is from a business end. We can make this work, and so you guys know, right? We don't have a high price point. So we got to get everything tight. We don't have a lot of money in the box. We're proud of that fact. And a lot of you guys still love the box anyway, so I appreciate that feedback that we don't spend the $5 to, make this box pretty. We actually put the money in the cigars, and that's why we were able to do this. And it was really, really fulfilling to see you guys so positively respond.
For sure, yeah. Like I said, overwhelming. We heard so much about this box this month, man. It's just, which me and James feel like we put out a strong product every month, but we heard a lot of good feedback this month. But yeah, every month we feel at that price point we're at and the cigars that we put in, we don't feel like there's a club out there that's close. And being transparent, we look, we're not blind. We got eyes. We see what other people are doing. We see other clubs just like they see what we're doing too. And it's just like, or you'll see something and it's like, decent little improvement they got there, but the club costs $20 more.
Yeah. Well, so Ron, you're kind of answering my question, or one of the questions that was asked to us. So we got it up a little late today, so you guys can start throwing it in the chat as well. What are the questions you have for us as it relates to this box or just the process in general? But one of the questions, Ron, was what has surprised you the most so far in starting a Cigar of the Month Club?
To be quite honest, it's the same thing kind of how I looked at my YouTube channel. It was like, when you have, and it's not any arrogance, it's just being confident in yourself and what you know that you're capable of doing. I knew that the club was going to be successful, but just the overwhelming outreach and the love for the club and just the sharing of pictures. Because think about, we've come such a long way, man. Remember the first one we released and we were on the phone like, man, we got to figure out how we got to talk to people to get this hashtag out and try to get more people to see what we got going. And it's grown so much more since July, man. So for me, it's so gratifying. It's so gratifying to see the members and just, I see people on other videos and stuff or Facebook posts or Instagram posts. Man, y'all need to check out Black Lion. Man, that makes you really feel good. And at the same time, for me, I always say, I still say I don't have the best palate in the world, but it's always still reassuring to hear so many people that agree with you or that these are good cigars as well too. So for me in the club so far, it's just been the overwhelming love that we've been receiving. That's what I would say has been. Like I said, I knew we were going to be successful because I know what kind of people me and you are. But when you actually start to see you write the blueprints down and then you start to see the four walls of the home being built, but when it's a final or becoming a finalized product, and you can sit back in the front yard and look at it like, damn, man, we really built this shit up from ground up. Like, Man,
I'm going to feel like an asshole now. So the one thing
somebody's got to be the bad cop, man.
Yeah. So it goes hand in hand with what you said. The growth has been phenomenal. It is incredible to see you and I, we did sketch out. We thought projected what we would be at. We are way ahead of that, obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, Matt, that's the second time that conversation's come up. There is actually a Black Lion RonReal Facebook group that is hidden from the world. It only has 2 members, Ron and James.
And y'all would know because y'all know I've been on record saying, look, if y'all want to start a page and y'all be the mod, y'all figure out model because I don't spend a lot of. And James will tell you, I don't really spend a lot of time on Facebook. I'll kind of click in, make sure I don't have any notifications or messages I need to answer, and then I'm right back out. Like that's so, for me more of a family kind of.
So cards on the table. We never invited anybody because what Ron said, and the acknowledgement that shit, how do I say it? Like, I'm going to throw myself on the bus, but it's the reality. We've talked about this openly, Ron, is we provide great cigars, incredible price points. My customer service can grow them. I acknowledge that. I work a 40-hour full-time job outside of Black Lion. I have got a wife, got a kid. Black Lion grew tremendously faster than I anticipated. So I was at the shop till midnight.
Yep.
Last night, and I was there at 6 a.m. this morning, so I could get 85 packages that came in between midnight and 6 a.m. out the door today.
That's why I was going to say, you look at other clubs or other entities and stuff, it's like they have teams. You got me sitting at the face to get the product and push it out, and you have James doing the, lack of better words, grunt work.
Yeah, so
it is what it is. James is doing all the grunt work, man.
Listen, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm being straight up. I'm being honest. I'm not going to run from it because listen, I don't have a vision board or that crap, but like, it is an active conversation in my head every day. You know, there are times I will miss emails or I will not get to them in 24 hours and I feel like shit. But some of that is like, to me, the priority, and this is where I'm working on it, is getting your cigars out the door so that I can have that 24-hour or less turnaround like all the other big stores do. So I struggle with that. So I don't want a Facebook group because I don't want it to turn into like, I don't want people bashing me over shit I know because it would just like sink me. Because listen, I'm an introvert. I feel a type of way. There are days like that imposter syndrome is in my head because there are companies that know us now. I know we're bigger than some of these other brands or some of these other clubs out here. I know the level we're playing in, and it's on my back and on Ron's shoulders. And so that shit, like there are days I feel defeated. Like Ron and I, we shared a screenshot. Ashhead was in the conversation yesterday. The guy was not right. He was not wrong, but he was not right at the same time. And it's like, that's tough because like, listen, Ashhead messages, I answer right away, or I try to. Ron, messages, I answer right away. And it's like, listen, the guy's not right. He's not wrong though. But here's the real story. But I cannot say that real story in the real world. I know that. I know I can't put that dude on blast. And so I don't want like that shit coming to me when I know it's a problem that I'm addressing every day and I'm working on it.
Right.
So that is the big reason. I know it's stupid. I know it's selfish.
It's just the reality of it. It's just like, all right, so if you order something from Amazon or Walmart, that's a lot of locations. It's a lot of people that are involved in that process. If you really want to support a small company like a mom and pop's version of Walmart or whatever, yeah, it might take an extra day or two to get your product shipped. But me as a patron or a supporter of that company, if it takes me an extra day or two, that's fine. In my mind, I would feel good knowing that I'm really helping a real small company and actually giving them a chance. And it's almost distasteful and kind of a shame for me when I look and see that. And it's like, well, damn, y'all won't even give us the same credit that you'll give another company or, that has, I don't know, 50 or 60. Some of these stores have 20, 30, 40 people in there, and their job when they clock in every day is to make packages. We don't have that luxury as of right now. We're growing, but we're not that big yet. It's not like a Cigar International or Thompson, Holtz. It's just not that.
It will, we're, like I said, we're ahead of where I thought we were from a business perspective when I laid up. Yep. I'm happy. I pinch myself every day to know that I've done this. I've got a team around me and Ron and Nick and, Smoke and Lead guys, Ashhead. So I feel a type of way. But like, that's just me acknowledging. So that's why it's not out there. Like, I'll own that. I've pulled Ron back a couple times on that. So back to the question at hand, Ron. So the one thing I learned and kind of feeds into this, I'm actually surprised we're not larger than what we are. And I say that because I know the champions we have in the chat. I see you guys on Facebook. I see you in all the groups. I see the love you show. And I got to really be careful how I word this because I don't want people to think I'm an even bigger asshole than I currently am. There is a blind loyalty that surprises me when it comes to this. Like, my cigar club is the best. Mine. I've been in it for 6 months. Okay, the last 3 months have been bad, but I'm hanging on because we'll turn it around. That's a quarter of your monthly budget or a quarter of your yearly budget.
Literally on bad boxes.
Yeah, so like to me, that has surprised me that more people, they've told me like, well, we were not going to join because we only do one club at a time, and we don't want to quit this club even though we know 3 months have been bad. But we think the 4th month is going to be good.
Right, but that's the problem I have is because we wouldn't get that. A lot of people want they feel, or in their eyes, one bad month they're out. Then the next month they feel something's good, I'm back in.
It's that.
Give us that loyalty that you're giving everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not going to put the dude's name out there, and I understand by saying this conversation, I probably lost him as a customer. He's a member of 2 other clubs, and Blackline was his 3rd. He's been on and off for 6 months, and I finally feel I'm in the position to have that conversation as to what do I need to do better? What do Ron and I need to do better from a club perspective?
Right.
That allows us to be that club that you trust every month, that you don't have to pause, join. And I never got the answer. And that, like, to me, that actually spoke volumes as to why.
Right.
Like, you know who you are. You're welcome back anytime. I know he's going to watch a stream because I know he watches you, Ron. And I would implore him to give me a call and have a conversation because I want to know, because I know
these are actual real questions. Like you said, what would it take, or what does it take for us to have the same leniency as somebody else? Because like I said, but at this time it's like just me being unbiased and just, if anybody's been in the club from July, John Wilhoit, Bruce, Pete has been around for a long time, Don, Joe, go look at the club from July all the way through now. You can't tell me, and then look at some of these other clubs that people are. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, and I know how people are going to interpret this. I imagine we're going to get some comments today that might attack us, or in the coming days about this segment in particular. But it just surprised me because to me, I assume the loyalty would be towards the dollar in value that you receive and not the name on the box.
Right.
And so that is the biggest thing I've learned, because I thought when I pitched this idea to the owner, Nick, when I brought Ron on board, when I was pitching him the idea of what we could do and why we will be different in the market and why I think we will be successful, it was always tied to quality and price point. Because there are clubs you can see, they're literally cleaning off the shelves. Or, like Josh Cruz. I don't know if Josh Cruz is in here. Josh Cruz is part of another club that got one cigar. He got our cigar in February, and that other cigar in the club, that same cigar in January. And I messaged him and I was like, listen, man, I know you're part of this club. I apologize that you're getting duplicates.
Right.
It so happened that he actually liked that cigar. So he was happy because he got it at a great price point for another single, didn't have to go buy a bundle or a 5-pack.
Right.
And so, like, to me, I was like, all right, good. This dude gets the value of the product. And so that's what surprises me to this day is I understand there's economic situations in each person's life and they can't be in multiple clubs or they have to wait and they want to hold on to that feeling of what that club was. But I'm with you, Ron. Like,
I feel like since July, man, we've had strong months. Like anybody, and that's what I was going to say. There's a reason why you just said earlier we're bigger than quite a few clubs that have been around for even years longer than us. That's not by coincidence, man. Like I said, me and James can only do so much. I can only put out so many videos or whatever. Word of mouth travels faster than all of this stuff. So it's like in word of mouth and then seeing a good product. James spoke to a highly regarded cigar person last week. And I'm talking about a decade over in the game. He never knew about the club. But once James sent him the pictures of what the lineup was, he was like, oh my. And this is a guy that has probably 30 plus years in smoking. And it's one of the most respected people in the cigar community. So it's like, I know if he's pleased by it, and I know we're doing a good job. I know we are.
And he's under 2 hours away from me.
Right.
I thought for sure he would have seen it because we have a lot of mutual friends.
Mm-hmm.
Nick's friends with him. I thought for sure he would have seen it. So that's the thing that surprised me. Like, I don't mean it negatively. Like, it live and learn, figure the shit out and move forward, because I know our product. Listen, we had a damn near $90 package in December. You got that Mayura, which was the cost of it. We've done the Ron exclusive with an up and coming brand with a generally good dude. I drove to see Francisco today on a whim because I saw he was a half hour from me at a rolling event to say thank you again for doing that cigar for us and maybe to plan some other stuff ahead of time. But So yeah, that's the thing that surprised me. And like I don't want to complain because there are, I will say it publicly, Ron, and you know this number. There are over 600 people now in this club. That's tremendous, tremendous thing. And I can't believe where we're at. And I love all the guys and the girls that message me and they're on this. You guys do the monthly Zooms with us, so I know we're doing right. It just surprises me that it's not 1,000 yet, to be honest with you.
And for me too, what I like about what we're doing too is there, you know, for us. So there were 5 cigars in this month. If people didn't like one cigar out of it, 80% is pretty damn good in my eyes. But what we're not going to deliver, I'm not. There's there's not going to be an excuse from me. There's not going to be an excuse from James. Oh, this is a bad cigar or whatever. All right, man. I'm sorry it wasn't for your flavor profile or whatever. We still stand by what we put in there. Keep trusting us, man. You know, eventually, you know, who knows? There might be a box that pops up that you might like all of. We feel like if there's 4 cigars every month, we are very confident 3 of them you're going to like every month.
Oh yeah.
There'll be one wild card where you're like, oh, it was okay, and that's fair. You know, that's fair because again, we're going to be pushing brands, pushing blends and stuff to expand your palate. So everything you're not going to fall in love with everything. That's fine. But what we're not going to do is make excuses for it.
Yeah. I'm reading all the, listen, so if you guys see Troy Ballard, his name's in the comments. Troy's a local guy. Matt is a local guy. I love you, Matt. I mean, I wish I could see you more. I wish you weren't working, but thank you for what you do, man. I know it's not easy working at the prison, brother. You know, Troy's going to help me pack. I got a couple other guys. Like, I'm finally at that point, like, I need help because it like 600 boxes. I used to be able to do it in a weekend, and that was with my 4-year-old, who was actually very productive. My 4-year-old put every single piece of crinkle paper in this month's box. Like that was his role. It was like I dumped it out on the floor in our living room. And I said, buddy, go to town. Mommy and daddy have to do this part of the project, and here you go. So it was cute, but like it is what it is at this point. But I forget where the hell I was going with this conversation now. That's pretty much like my mind right now. It's freaking lost. But
at the end of the day, give us the same opportunity, give us the same chances that you're giving everybody else. We just want to equal share, equal stance on it, man. That's it.
Yeah, and I will listen. If you think you've seen good, cards on the table. I love that phrase. Ron, here's a daily. Because I genuinely mean it. If you think you've seen good, you wait till, and we have Nick, who is an international traveler. He is always on the move. So getting Nick to smoke a cigar is a challenge. Getting him to try something new. He's been smoking for a very long time. He knows those blends inside and out that we use. Getting Ron down in Memphis, getting all 3 of us, our timelines to sync and smoke cigars in a timely fashion to get them is challenging, which is why we have a collection of cigars that we've all smoked and we've all agreed these are what we want to use. We are going to be going to the trade show in May. It'll be Ron, Nick, and I in front of every single brand that wants to be there. Some of the big boys won't be there. That's fine. We don't need them because we know their cigars in it intimately. We've smoked them all. You put all 3 of us in the same freaking convention center for 3 days smoking cigars. You just wait till you see what we come out of with that, because we're all smoking live, doing it together. We're going to be hustling. We're going to get the deals for you guys. So May, what's up, bud? Can you do it? Okay, I'll do it when I'm done then. My dog needs to go to the bathroom. My 4-year-old doesn't want to do it. That's fine.
I was about to say, we ain't got to stay up too.
Yeah, so I think when that happens, you're going to see a whole new level from probably July on when we hit that 1-year anniversary.
And keep this in mind too. We are running a car right now with no additives really to it. There's no supercharger. There's no turbo. We ain't increased no horsepower, no kind of way. This club is pretty much, other than the custom blend, the one custom blend is a completely, putting that in car terms, we're a car straight off the factory floor. Think about some of these clubs. They're relying on custom blends every month. We ain't got into none of that stuff yet. I ain't gotten into seriously blending anything yet. Like, y'all, we are working off of, we got just basic ingredients on the table, and
difference is we got high quality ingredients.
And we got 3 good pallets.
Yeah, like I don't got to tell you a story to sell a fucking cigar.
Yeah,
your story for a punch. Once a year release, high primings, probably one of their best offerings they make. Go get it. You know, M Bombay, the only story I say is trust us, because it's a good pair that with coffee. You're good. Like,
and I like the community we have too, James. Like the people that are in the chat and I'm watching them, I know what kind of smokers they are. They fit what they Mystical, Mad, you know, they fit what we're trying to get after. Like Mystical likes that Padron 90.
Yeah.
If we would have first introduced him to that, imagine if he would only been able to smoke that cigar one time. But Mystical can smoke it every other day like he does now.
Yep.
Like
that's what I really appreciate about you guys. Like I see all of you that post anyway. You know, I can see what you're smoking elsewhere, and it informs us. Don't be naive. Like, yes, Ron leads this. I'm involved. You guys drive us as much as you do, and it's not this effort to like we got to keep you happy. It's this effort that we owe you because we see what you smoke on a daily basis outside of our club.
And I don't know if some people think like this too. I just want to reassure you guys too that no matter how big the club gets or whatever, you guys always are going to come first. You guys are very, very important to us. So I know sometimes people are like, well, I'm afraid if it gets too big, the quality is going to go down or they're going to change on us or whatever. It's not, man. You know, like I said, there's times that James has had to gate me back and vice versa, or Nick has gated both of us back. But that's what you get when you got three different people that have some similarities, but we all have some differences. And that's what's great about this is between the three of us is going to, you know what I mean? The product is going to stay what it is. And we're not going to talk about it yet, but me and James have been talking in the past couple of weeks. We got, like you said, we got a lot of crazy stuff going. And we're definitely trying to get really aggressive. And like I said, the end goal is to put as many good cigars as in as many people's hands as possible. That's still the goal.
Like there's something to be said about like, I'm trying to figure out a different company to use because I don't want to say the same ones. Got a little flack for the Drew Estate when we did the Herrera Esteli Brazil.
But guess what? All the reviews I've been seeing pictures of people. Shout out to Cigar Sherpa too. He I don't think he's in the club, but he's not a very big DE fan. And I saw his Instagram post that he smoked that very cigar, and the caption was, "Now this is a cigar I could get behind." Again, it's a good cigar, and a lot of people are overlooking it or walk by it.
Well, and not only that, like there's a commitment that we don't talk about often. I don't know if we've ever publicly said it, and if you follow what's going on with the regulations and the federal government, it's not political. There are just certain companies that carry our industry because they have the financial resources to do that. Those companies are the one putting up a lot of the money to make sure that premium cigar smoking stays or gets better. It's very tough to publicly admit that some days because you want the boutiques and you want the little guys, and that's fine. Like, listen, I see all the people like shitting on Macanudos or Romeo and Julietas, whatever. Man, $1 billion company for a reason. They provide a lot of assets and resources for us as a community that go unnoticed because somebody's got to pay the bills.
Same thing with, let's look at Rocky Patel. I don't smoke a lot of his blends, but if you'd be a fool to not know how important Rocky Patel has been for the CRA and just the cigar community in general, man. Like I said, that's why if you do your reading and you do your research and homework, you realize who's really behind there, really ensuring that cigar smoking stays how it is. If not, gets better.
Exactly. And so like to us, it's really cool to see that, like not cool, but like that's our commitment to using those brands is because they make good quality cigars. You can't knock that. You may not like it, but they're good quality cigars.
And there's a reason why these brands have been around for 30 plus years. You know, if they weren't that good, they wouldn't be lasting. So
yep. All right. Are there any final questions in the chat other than me need to say I love you all?
Yes. Make sure you say that.
I do love them. Listen, we're not that number strong without them. I know that. You know, Axel, he's in this chat. Axel, he opened up Puerto Rico for us. He single-handedly has been championing us in some of the Spanish-speaking Facebook cigar groups, and that I don't take that for granted. That's 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 a tough thing to do. It's not easy. Like that community, I've talked enough to him about it. Like
we do, man. Like we do, man. Like I said, y'all know we love y'all, man. Like I said, we could be doing 1,000 other things, but like y'all know me, y'all know James, y'all know I love enjoying coming on live. Y'all know We enjoy doing what we do. I love the club. It's, truth be told, man, like I said, really the club and what I'm doing with you guys is really kind of one of the last things why I'm still here. When I'm saying that, sort of saying, nobody, or me and James, a few people have heard of me, but like say it, but like the reviewing community is so saturated, and I think it's so full of bullshit sometimes that sometimes you look up and it's like, is it really even worth it?
Yeah.
So like there was that rumor, like if I wasn't dealing with Black Line and curating the club for you guys, like I don't know how much longer I'd be around, because it's just like Cowboy says sometimes I just rather cut the camera off and just smoke cigars, man. Like that's
same. Yeah, it is what it is. Gavin, we use the United States Post Office, just with the restrictions that come from UPS and signing and not shipping tobacco. Don't want to deal with that hassle. It goes back to what we talked about earlier. My bandwidth is what it is. I can only achieve so much. And so post office, listen, to me, their ship's back in order. They're a lot better now. They're getting there. So, I've got no complaints with them. I've not had a package arrive that's been damaged so far, knock on wood. So
yeah, I just posted the link again. Somebody was asking about what Black Line Luxury. So I just posted the link. I'll post it one more time. If you guys are in here and haven't subscribed to the Black Line Luxuries YouTube channel, I'm sure that's where you'll see a lot of things that you may not see on my channel. Like if James is introducing a new product, a new sampler, new ideas, or something that's going on, if that's the area you need to be in following too. There'll be a lot of updates and some things coming from that too. So who knows, man? We might do a giveaway when he reaches 100 or 500 or something like that. We might.
No, man, that's too much shit. I'm just kidding. But listen, folks, it is an honor. Like Ron, please know that I'm grateful for all of you, man. Y'all are. It is really fun. Like I'm not going to be that cliche. Oh, you, whatever. I'm not going to say the stuff that other people say, but we love you guys. It makes everything worth it. I genuinely believe that. And I genuinely mean that. It is really fun. Curating.
It is.
And like just chilling and like trying to figure this out. And like when I say trying to figure it out, like not just make money, but trying to figure out what needs to be different when it comes to Cigar of the Month clubs.
Yep. That
legacy that Ron and I can lean on and leave behind, that we, you know me, Ron, I'm just not that dude. I'm not going to say like change the game. But like we are making, I'm trying to make sure the cigar smoker is holding these people accountable in these clubs. And,
that's what I like. I like smokers that are more knowledgeable, more conscious of what's going on. That's what I want to be around. I don't care about what cigar you smoke. I just want to be around a cigar smoker that's knowledgeable and they can hold their own and they love cigars. I want to be around people that are passionate about cigars. So
yeah. Gavin, so boxes, as everybody gets billed the last week of the month, we don't do an anniversary or a monthly, the day you signed up. So everybody's will ship out the 29th, 30th, and 31st. So that's everybody, it all goes out the last week of the month, granted any shipping issues or anything that pops up. This month was delayed a couple days because there was an issue that I had to adhere to, or I had to work on. And nothing big. I just had to make sure it went out. There was a couple bad boxes, and that's fine.
Yeah,
it happens. When you're ordering the quantities we do. Listen, we had to build a second humidor because of it. So, yeah,
going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll say anything else you got to put out?
Love you, Black Line family. That's all I'm gonna say.
Love y'all too, man. We will catch you guys in April.
Oh, I do. I'm pissed nobody commented on the sign behind me. I left a lot of fat jokes waiting to be had, and nobody said a damn thing in the chat.
I just looked up and read it when you were talking. I was just like, and just shook my head.
Yeah. And Mystical, I'm not ignoring you, buddy. We have a golf outing September 20th at Black Lion, and our brick and mortars hosting. I imagine once life opens up, we'll do some stuff at the shop, and we'll try to get a function and figure out where we're going to do it. Whether it's down in Memphis, up in Pennsylvania, maybe we'll all go to Florida. I don't know.
I'm in on Florida.
No, listen, cigar capital.
But yeah. So this has been the second episode for Black and White Ash, man. Like I said, we do this once a month. Of course, you never know when we might pop up randomly and stuff too. I'm going to be reaching out with Caesar and Rob at Smoking Lead. We'll try to get something together too. So what will probably happen is I'm going to try to talk to them about doing a live cigar review. I'm going to just whatever. Whenever we get our monthly packages, I'll talk to them and coordinate and figure out what cigar we all want to smoke and do a live stream, whether it's on their channel or mine or whatever. It doesn't really matter, but we'll come up with something.
And make sure if you're a club member that you're checking your email for the monthly Zooms we do. Mm-hmm. It's not like a shoot the shit Zoom. It's we bring in this month's Christian Aurora. We bring in the guys and the girls. Right. It's straight from the well. You don't have Ron and I trying to disseminate the information from somebody else. You're getting straight from the source. You can ask. I'm very much looking forward to asking Christian, like, what the hell, man? That is probably the most aggressive box press I've ever seen. Like, what does that process look like?
Yep.
So, make sure to join. Last one we had 80 people on. It's pretty awesome. I actually had to upgrade my Zoom account, so make sure we can have more if that happens. But so there's ways to to get involved. If you guys want to do something, maybe Ron and I will get that Facebook group up and running. Maybe we'll
figure something out.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. So,
all right, man. We'll
send us out, Ron.
Y'all know the name of the game. Oh, before I finish out. You have not checked out Cigar Madness. I don't know who's new or anything. Make sure you guys are checking out Cigar Madness. We are 6 episodes into the first round. A lot of high energy, a lot of great cigars in there, a lot of controversy. So go over there and bash me and tell me how bad my judging is on cigars. But
God damn it, Ron! This is supposed to be a Black Lion only promotion where you sell your soul only for Black Lion. It's not Cigar Madness. I don't sponsor Cigar Madness, man. Come on.
Man, that's damn. I'm gonna have to do a new air live stream once a month too.
So thanks for joining us. Thanks for the shit talk. Thanks for the little soapbox. But folks, seriously, thank you. Thank you. I see the way you champion us. I see the way you love cigars. I can't believe the number we're at. So thank you. Now, Ron, send us out.
All right, man. Y'all know the name of the game is relaxation and enjoyment. Damn sure don't forget to be driven, never motivated. And like he just said, champion the club, man. Fight for what you believe in. We love y'all. We'll catch y'all in April.